Hey everybody, it's Monday. It must be Eduardo here with your DraftStream final results and new talent pool preview. And we gotta give it up to the woman we know as Lil Stevie, Parfait DM. Cinema Draft Podcast guest Steph Torres in the house atop the standings, going away too, putting 20 points of distance between her and myself, your boy Swag, official, in the building but not at the top of it. Followed in third by the second call sheet of Henner YYZ, picking up the Canadian sensation mantle from Jaybird, who took off this week. And you would think in a week that lacked our two game leaders, Jaybird and Gamble 24x7, you'd think the game's originator, the game's founder, would have found his way to the top, but damn it, give it up for Lil Stevie. Her very first DraftStream win, well played, wins $50 for first. Henner YYZ wins $25 for second and $10 for his third place call sheet as well. While I, almost by default, took the lowball bonus of $15, and I will roll that into the prize pool for this week. Okay, so our perfect call sheet looks a little something like this. About 100 points off the pace from Parfait DM. You've got your optimal stack of Blood of Zeus here, headliner stacks of His House, Superstore, and Truth Seekers. So how did Lil Stevie stack up? Well, Parfait DM had her an American Housewife headliner stack. Headliner stacks of Blood of Zeus, Deutschland, This Is Us, with the requisite co-star of Holiday and Day Player from The Soul of America. Well done. And I nearly closed the gap. And one thing you will notice in the perfect call sheet, we did not have heavy hitters from The Mandalorian or Subura, which were our two most expensive titles on the slate. But so expensive, it kind of crowded out room for an optimal strategy. So let's take a look at what... Well, I guess we can take a look at my call sheet real quick. I almost got through The Mandalorian. There was... I mean, this thing going into the final column of... Or going into the Metacritic column, this thing was at 121.45. It was about to set a record, and then Metacritic, as it often does, brought it back down to earth. Gave it like a 76, I think. So almost set a record, almost got me up to the top. That would have been the difference, but couldn't make it happen. I have Exposure to Temple, City So Real right here, with a bit of a different... Oh no, there it is. So actually a 5-pack of City So Real. I went all in on that. We could not get a Google user score out of it. And then headliner stack of Blood of Zeus. Some exposure, but not nearly enough. And yeah, and that was our issue with City So Real. People seem to love this miniseries, but did not come up on Google user. You know, the Google users did not come out in force for it, did not register a score for it. So I don't know. Yeah, and Henner YYZ, his third place call sheet, very solid. He's got exposure to City So Real. He's got a headliner stack from Deutschland. And he went and ambitious. I love this. He went stars and scrubs. He went with 2 headliners from The Mandalorian. And actually, let me see, what would have happened if The Mandalorian actually got there? What would have happened if it actually had the 94 it had on Sunday? If that had held up, what would that have looked like? Boom. Well, okay. So you would have overtaken me for second, but still, you know, looks like Parfait DM would have held us off. Oh, just a general tightening down there too. Actually, this little battle here looks kind of interesting as well. All right, well, but no dice. And actually, hold on. That was... Oh, that would have gotten it to a 122. So it would have gotten up there, but not quite. we go. Okay, so, and then of course we got to check in with our mascot, my mother, the draft mom, Brown Baby. What was going on this week, Brown Baby? Well, only 4 headliners. I mean, you want to have more headliners than not. She went with, yeah. I mean, now I see there's not enough headliners. What was your demise, Mom? And it looks like you tried to get in. Where'd all the money go? Okay, This Is Us. His House. His House actually turned out to be pretty well received, but just too many co-stars, not enough headliners, Mom. You went with the odd 4-5-1 construction, which we have not seen in a perfect call sheet since, I don't know, May, maybe? Yeah, needed more headliners, Mom. Better luck next week. Although anytime I see Ali Wong on a call sheet, it makes me smile. All right, and then my default lowball call sheet, well, the perfect lowball call sheet, clocked in at 721 points. As a reminder, to qualify for the lowball, you must have minimum $75,000 in budget spent. You must have a headliner, at least one headliner, one co-star, one day player on your call sheet, and of course, you're trying to get the lowest possible score with these preconditions. So, perfect lowball call sheet had a heaping. Oh, and you must have at least one actor from 3 different titles. There we go. All right, so it looks like the Kraft Legacy was our lowest scoring title. Sarah Cooper in the mix, also for salary, and it totally makes sense. I mean, I watched the Sarah Cooper thing, and it was okay. It was like a chuckle fest. It wasn't very funny, which is sad because I think she's very funny on Twitter in her Donald Trump impersonations, of which there are a few in that special. And then Rogue City Bronx. I haven't heard much about it. I don't think it was really covered. I think that's what its issue was. Rogue City Bronx. Oh no, never mind. It got covered all right. Critics absolutely hated it. Audiences seem to have liked it. So that's what happened there. And so my lowball call sheet, I went with a 6-pack of the Kraft Legacy, and I doubled down on Sarah Cooper. Train to Busan was only differential, really. I mean, I was only 30 points off, so it was close. So no lowball call sheet bonus here to roll over into next week's talent prize pool. And speaking of next week's prize pool, let's take a look at it. We've got 25 fresh ones for you, and I'll admit. So last week's scores looks like we were pretty high. Hold on, what's going on here? Great, are we stuck? There we go. All right, sorry about that. Froze for a second. Last week's scores, we ran super hot. Look at this, over 5 points over the season average. Now, I don't expect we'll get the same this week, and I'll tell you why. Now, first of all, you're going to see our talent pool is I mean, the prices are extremely low this week, very affordable. Our most expensive title is the second season of Save Me at $17,000. So this is going to be a week where you get what you want. So I expect to see a lot of value hunting, a lot of, I don't know. I mean, if you have a bead on a title you think that's going to perform well this week, I better expect to see it in your call sheet. I want to see some high scores. I want to see someone top 1,500 this week, if we can. There's really going to be no excuse not to get what you want when your most expensive salaried actor is Lenny James and Save Me at $17,000. I mean, there's room for everybody to eat this week. Now, because of that, I think the overall per title scores are going to be low. I mean, you get some returning series coming back, but they're like the dad sitcoms. And I say this even though I have no children, I'm not a father, and I enjoy Young Sheldon, but it's one of those third monitor type shows that I just have on while I'm using my other 2 monitors to work on Cinema Draft, or I'm balancing my checkbook or something like that. It's not something you concentrate on. I really enjoy The Good Doctor. I actually watched that attentively, but I don't think I'm in the majority in that. Like, I think audiences like it fine. I think critics have totally passed it over. Save Me is a bit of a critical and audience darling, but on Peacock, will enough people find it? Are enough people familiar with season 1 of Save Me, which came out a couple years ago, which I kind of stumbled into, but watched it. It was very Brit efficient, as I love those type shows. I think it was only 6 episodes in and out, 6 or 8 episodes in and out, about a father trying to find his missing teenage daughter, who may or may not have been sex trafficked in Britain. Not a fun topic, but it was really well done. And Lenny James is excellent. He's excellent in everything he's in. So I think while it will perform well overall, I think this is a fairly light slate this week. I'm, not a ton of stuff I have to say I'm really looking forward to. What is something that, like, we're what, 2 weeks out from The Crown? Is that coming out? When's that one coming out? The 5th? That's The Crown's coming out on the 15th? Oh, that's a weird one. Well, The Crown's going to be in next week's talent pool. That could set a record. I've watched that trailer 7 or 8 times. I'm really into it. Season 4 of The Crown. This week, we don't have anything with that type of cachet coming through. We've got a new Chuck Lorre comedy called Be Positive, but I don't know much about it, except that's from Chuck Lorre, which means I'll give it a shot. Chuck Lorre, of course, is the super producer. It's got to be worth about $1 billion by now, at least. The guy behind Big Bang Theory, Young Sheldon. He's done it all. Where is his not full cast and crew? Look at his IMDb and it's kind of nuts. Is this not from Chuck Lorre? Well, shit, I take it back. I thought he wrote it, or maybe he's just producing this. Okay, so he's producing this. All right, so he didn't write it, but he's producing it. So he's getting his Shondaland act behind this, just kind of, helping support other writers and creators. But Chuck Lorre shows, as a writer, Mom, Young Sheldon. I didn't like Bob Hart's Abishola. I watched the pilot, did not look good. Kaminsky Method. This guy, he's got Mike and Molly, two and a Half Men. Just, paid out the wazoo. So, oh God, he did Dharma and Greg too? Oh wow, that's wild. Sybil, Grace Under Fire. He's been Roseanne? Wow, okay. Oh no, he's a writer on that. Okay, story by. But yeah, so he's, the dude gets money. So if he's coming out with a new show, I'm probably going to give it a shot, even though it seems like he didn't necessarily write this one. But it's from his production company, I guess. Greg Mallins also does pretty good work. Otherwise, I don't recognize these others. And directed by James Burrows. The guy who directed every episode of Will and Grace. And, this guy also, Cent a Millionaire easy. Because he's directed everything. Just everything. 246 episodes of Will and Grace. That's just nuts. It's nuts. Anyways. All right. So, a new Chuck Lorre comedy. Although I'm not sure how much buzz it's been getting. I'm intrigued by Citation, foreign drama. Looks like dealing with consent issues in academia. What else? Operation Christmas Drop. Adorable. We get predictable rom-com trailer. Netflix. We are now we have now entered Mariah Carey season, as it's known. November 1st, it officially is the kickoff of Mariah Carey, aka Christmas season. All I Want for Christmas Is You. So we're gonna be deluged with a bunch of these Christmas titles this week and throughout the rest of the year, and not just on Hallmark either. Netflix is in the act now. Operation Christmas Sweater. Oop, undo that. Never Kiss Amanda Christmas Sweater. It's gonna do what these Hallmark shows gonna do. It's not gonna get reviewed critically or get a user review on Google, but it will get an IMDb user review. So expect to take your 70 points and go, basically. So where are we gonna find some value? Well, we don't have a lot of exposure to UPTV, so this could be a bit of a sleeper. Once again, A Ring for Christmas, feel good-ish. Christmas era. Who knows? Stars you never really heard of, but people will still cash checks here and there. Call Me Brother. I don't know about that. Citation, I think, could be a sleeper. The trailer looks really good. Jimmy Jean-Louis from Heroes fame, if you recall. Love and Anarchy has a solid trailer. And then, you know, these ones already have... These ones, they're pretty much priced in. If you're anytime you're in season 8 of long-running Chuck Lorre, you know, a sitcom Mom, you kind of know what you're going to get with this. So I'm not sure if there's any hidden value to unlock in a show like Mom or even Young Sheldon. I mean, Young Sheldon is now in its 4th season. You kind of know what you kind of get what you pay for. So you're not going to. You're pretty much paying for points, not necessarily value. I don't know. I always try to do a good job to salary these actors appropriately. I'm not sure if there's any meat on the bone left, except for things that I have very little exposure to or know about, like the A Word. This, just based off the metrics that are out there, seems about $15,000 worth. So there, you're paying for points, not for value. I don't know. Side Hustle. This one is a black box, and it's our very first Nickelodeon title ever in the DraftStream game. So it could be anything. You know, I don't know if it's going to be great or if it's going to fail. There's no statistical data out there from Rotten Tomatoes or Metacritic. It's an empty slate. So maybe come Thursday morning when you're filling out your call sheets and sending them in, maybe we'll have a better idea of what Side Hustle's going to do. The sick thing, though, is that it does not premiere until Saturday, November 7th. So we're not going to have any kind of audience reaction or response until after game lock. So buyer beware. But that's also why it's priced so low. It's basically min price, $5,500. I mean, it's pretty low. So if you need salary relief and you want to take a flyer, I mean, maybe a headliner from Side Hustle might be worth your while. All right. Julia Stiles returning to Riviera. Welcome back. This also could be some hidden value, but it's on Sundance, so I'm not sure if people really get... Or Sundance Now, the streaming platform for the Sundance channel. So I'm not even sure if everyone's going to really discover it enough in order to give us points. And Proxima. I'm going to end with Proxima. I don't know if at 11,400 it's... I mean, as you can see, it already has an IMDb user score. 3,800. That's pretty hefty sample size right there. But I watched the trailer and it looks good. Like, I'm going to check it out this weekend. Whether others on whether the Google users will come out in force for it, or if it'll get good enough reviews, is a little bit beyond my scope. But this could have some sneaky hit value, especially if in the trailer it looks like it's about the relationship between an astronaut preparing for a 1-year mission to the International Space Station and her kid. You know, it's the bond between a single mother and her daughter. I mean, if it really does grab at your heartstrings, I don't know, it could do really well. So that's going to do it this week, everybody. As usual, we have a 3 max call sheet policy. Get them back to me by 6 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. This Thursday. Standard budget. Get all three actors types involved: headliner, co-star, day player. Throw a call sheet towards the low ball, and I will figure out the math on what first place will be. I think it'll probably be something along the lines of, I don't know, $60 for first, $35 for second, something like that. Sounds about right. So thank you everybody for playing. Thanks everybody for watching. Get those call sheets into me at cinemadraft@gmail.com by 6 p.m. Pacific time on Thursday. And I will be back here sometime after then with your call sheet review and weekend preview. Thanks, everybody. See y'all Thursday.